Hello and welcome back to the show, right?
Welcome back. Now let's get the show started. You will recall that on Monday, which is 6 days ago, the road diversion and partial closure commenced the preparation for the reconstruction of a portion of the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway a month after it was scheduled to have started. The reconstruction of the expressway is due to end by the 31st of October. And this partial closure has resulted in some gridlock. Understandably, that corridor being the most used road corridor in Nigeria. This closure was supposed to have started on August 3rd, but it was postponed till September the 2nd. And the federal government is hoping to complete this work before Christmas. Now, to bring us up to date as to what this has looked like in the last 1 week, we have the Federal Road Safety Sector Commander, Ogun State, Mr. Samuel Oladile, with us in the studio.
Clement.
Mr. Clement Olatunde, good morning.
Oladile.
Good morning,
Alero.
Good morning.
Good morning.
And thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you very
Now,
much.
today is day 6
Correct.
of this closure.
Correct.
How has it been? What is it looking like?
So far, it's been good. It's, you know FRSC, our friends, so you know that we're a database performance-driven organization, even though we're a public service organization, but we don't rest on our oars. And for us, we do reviews. Reviews is done, it's like next to our skin. It's done hourly, daily, monthly, quarterly, annually, so that we are not surprised. And for us, what we've put into perspectives are, one, the plan itself, the plan to do the diversion, the holistic, the strategy. We keep on tweaking it to make sure that it just conforms with what we want to do. Also, part of the things we've reviewed is also the personnel, the number of people we've deployed. In Ogun Aziz, we've deployed 180 personnel. Then while from the Lagos Aziz, we have 300 of our personnel deployed. So in Amagam, we have that number of people that are patrolling the road. Then also, we look also at the structure of the road. Because when you look at the corridor, for instance, let me even start with Ogun State. Ogun State, where I'm privileged to work, we have 37,000 vehicles using the highways in Ogun State daily. 25,000 of them are within the Lagos-Ibadan Express Road. But the interesting thing about it is that 10,000 of them leave Lagos and they terminate their trips between Ibafo and Mowe, meaning that is where they reside, while the remaining will now continue to go to Shagam. And do you even know why the federal government decided to, between Shagam interchange into Lagos, they decided to expand the road to 6 lanes? Whereas from Shagam interchange going further into Ibadan is 4 lanes, 2 lanes apiece. Then we've also looked at even the type of vehicles that we use. For instance, in Ogun State, we have 360,000 vehicles in Ogun State, and 40% of them are trucks. So, and that is where the challenge really comes into. And most of them are going to the ports, and so they use the Lagos-Ibadan Express Road. And for you, if you know the structure of the road, that the moment we have a 1-minute delay, a breakdown, a stoppage, it takes average of 1 hour to restore normalcy. I'm not saying for that is the way it was before there was that stoppage. So for us, the goal is traffic must keep on moving. Okay. So, and when you have these trucks are aged, they're ill-maintained, and they even want to be overloaded, and in most cases, they're even overloaded. And the moment they come into the corridor, and the corridor, because of the diversion, the corridor narrows, and then there is tendency for you to slow down. And the way they operate, their own structure is that they need to keep on moving. And the moment they cannot move, and there's a stoppage, frequent stoppage, they will break down. Couple also with the load that they're carrying, the excessive load. Now, we don't have weight bridges, so it's very difficult for you to check that. You can't just see the size of the vehicle, merely looking at the vehicle to say, oh, this vehicle is overloaded, except you stop it. So when you have that and the moment they break down, but the most important aspect of it is if it is a truck that is laden with dangerous goods, if it is a truck that is conveying petroleum products, you know, they're highly inflammable, and the moment they break down, there is a standard operating procedure we must follow. One of them is that we must secure the entire environment. Secure the driver, secure even the products, and secure all those that are traveling in Ruda corridor, and even secure our personnel.
So within this period where this corridor is somewhat restricted, we should be praying that none of these
that is the
break
issue.
down.
There are two issues that can really challenge us. One is when people are driving against traffic. And most time, if the road is free, you will not see people, except those that are daredevil.
Okay,
Maybe.
Mr. Ladele, just hold your thoughts. We'll take a moment and we'll go on the break. When we come back, we'll look at the nitty-gritty. What's been like so far. Join us again. Welcome back. So, Mr. Ladele, this is day 6. Now, our correspondents have been going out there every day to monitor what's happening. And apparently, at certain times in the day, traffic builds up and it's really, really sluggish. What would you say is causing this? Is it that people are not following the set out lanes, or nobody is paying attention to anybody?
No, like I was saying earlier on, based on our review, that part of the issues also we review is the time of using the corridor. I told you that about 10,000 of the vehicles that maybe probably the owners, they work in Lagos, they commute daily. They terminate between Ibafu and Mowe. So meaning that these people, they need to go to work. Everybody we know the time for resumption of work, depending on where you work. And I don't even think there's another place you work, you resume past 9 o'clock. So within that period, the peak period, that is when it is challenged, people are moving in. The same set of people, they close from 4, 5, 6 o'clock, they're also going back. So that period also can be very challenging. But if nothing happens, if there's no breakdown, especially if there's no breakdown involving a truck that is conveying dangerous goods or maybe petroleum products, then there won't be issues. The only thing is that the traffic will be heavy, but it will be moving because our people are there. And then if we just conform to traffic signs and we follow instructions and we will be our personnel, then you'll get home safely.
But you have the commercial buses, which that are considered the menace of road traffic management in this part of the world. How cooperative have they been?
For some of them, they are, but there are some. We know their mentality. We know most of them, they hire these buses. There are even instances whereby a bus, we have 3 or 4 drivers driving a bus. And most of them, if you don't work, you cannot eat, you cannot feed your family, then you cannot be a man in the house. So you can understand the mentality. And for you to make more money, it depends on the number of trips that you make. And that is why they want to always look for opportunities to just look for ways. You won't believe it on, that should be on day 2, on Tuesday. While I was doing routine monitoring of the corridor, we were looking at areas where they normally pass through. So we now discovered one at Warewa, just before the bridge in Port Lagos. And they were using the corridor. They will now go to the Kara end, where the diversion starts from, and clog in it, preventing people that are going in that are even law-abiding. We tried to stop them, but they were ready to fight us. And they said, you said we should go and look for alternative corridor. We have found one, so why are you disturbing us here? Yeah. So we now had to make a feedback back to JBA and Julius Berger, and now they've blocked that place. So we don't need to worry ourselves. So our men can now concentrate on just making sure that the traffic will flow smoothly.
Talking about alternative routes, while sensitizing us about that this thing was going to happen, there were clips of alternative routes shown, and we were told which ones were the alternative routes, and we were shown the condition of those routes. Some of them were in great disrepair. Has there been any improvement so that people can actually use those instead of all of us just facing this?
It's actually work in progress. Even the Lagos-Ibadan Express Road is also work in progress. I told you earlier on, is the busiest corridor, the whole of Africa. So the thing is, for a long time, for some reasons, we couldn't maybe put all these corridors, not only this one, other parts of the country in good shape. But then that is past. We must move on. And the issue normally is that best practice, when you want to do a road corridor of that nature, you needed to shut it down completely, so that even the construction work itself can be very fast, and then you can guarantee safety to the construction workers, because they are brothers, they are sisters, and they need to do it. And then with that, you know that there are no distractions. But now that we don't have that luxury, because all the other corridors are also work in progress, contracts have been awarded, so we must commend government for ensuring that they awarded contracts for them. And what we keep on telling people, because this is not the first time we're having this diversion. This is like the third experience we're having now. They did the interchange.
This particular
also, yes, this axis. They also did the long bridge, and so they are doing this. But for this one, it's just 600 meters, so we know that it's very short. What we're telling people is that you can still use the corridor. While the diversion is ongoing, the construction is ongoing, vehicles can still move. The only thing is that you might need to increase your travel time. But for the answering your question, for the alternate corridors, what we actually advise people to do is that maybe most times when we know that the corridor is actually challenged, maybe like those instances whereby there's a petroleum product that breaks down, there's a fire outbreak, then we might now start advising, not even those people on the corridor to start turning back, but those that have not commenced their trips, so that they will not come and clog further the traffic, but they might decide to exploit alternative corridors so that they can get to where they're going to.
There was such an incident this week.
Yeah.
I think that burning truck was there for 2 days or something, or 1.5 days.
Yeah.
Why did it take so long to move it?
Yeah, there are issues. The issues since we commenced the special patrol to back up the diversion, we've had 8 road traffic crashes. We had on day 1 there was no issue because they didn't even do the diversion till much later in the afternoon. Then the second day on Tuesday we didn't have issues also because people were just trying to get used to it. Then on Wednesday we had 2. Then on Thursday, we had 3. 2 also. Then yesterday, Friday, we had 3. And then early this morning, around 3 a.m., there was another one that happened. And we've been able to identify that most of them, they happen within the same area. Mm-hmm. So we've made remedial actions, and then even the feedback we got from Julius Berger is that they are trying maybe any moment from now, they will divert traffic from outward Lagos to inward Lagos since they've completed that section. So with that, we won't have that problem, that particular road defect that is causing the problem. Whereas, and also in addition, they're going to put reflective beams so that people that are coming in, they can just see it. Because those ROTCs, they happen in the night. And that is what we keep on telling people, that when you're using a road where there's construction, diversion, road, the National Road Traffic Regulations 2012 says don't go beyond 50 kilometers per hour, and also do not attempt to overtake. But because they did not comply, even if you are the only one on that road, try not to go more than 50 kilometers per hour.
You have road signs that there are not too many road signs. What you have on this road, for instance, this axis where the diversion and the reconstruction is happening, is you see like 500 meters to construction site, 50 kilometers per hour. It's just there. Mm. It's not everyone that's driving on the road that understands some of these signs. Then you see another sign that has 2 arrows, 1 bend, 1 straight there. So you see those 3 signs. These are about the only 3 signs you see. Nothing written. So at the end of the day, those who don't understand those signs might not even understand what's happening. So the question of how many... You said it. Wait, hold on. Okay. You said here that your organization works with data. So how many drivers really understand road signs for them to be able to manage themselves through that corridor and not cause this RTC?
That is, if you don't understand them, then you don't have business to be a driver.
But you are the same people who issue them driver's licenses, because they do carry driver's licenses.
Not all of them have valid driver's licenses.
Many of them do.
For those that have, you must go to a driving school. And for those that did, and there was a time, even if you know now, look at the lots of work that the Corps Marshal has done to sanitize the issuance of driver's licenses. Now you do your driver's license within like the first lady of Ogun State. She came last week to do her driver's license, and she was surprised when we called her that the permanent driver's license is ready. She said, wow, she didn't know. So those are the feedbacks, and I've told her, help us tell your friends and others so that they will know. So there have been lots of work that the commercial has done to improve on this. And part of it is that you must go to a driving school. But you know the way some of our people want to do things, you want to cut corners.
You know,
so if you go to a driving school and then you are lettered, you learn the rudiments, the practicals, and also the theory, there's no way you don't know.
Before you came, we were talking about the motorcycle riders.
Yeah.
The reckless way some of them move around, move within traffic. And Aleo made a statement, said, instant justice, maybe a mobile court. Is that something that the road safety and the traffic managers are considering for this access that things are happening? Because some of these problems are caused by people who do not want to be patient. I mean, we talked about we talked about how people on a 2-lane road, you find out that people are creating like multiple lanes, all because they want to get there first. Yeah. Is there something like that in the works to ensure that there's instant justice? Someone is shunting where they should not shunt, trying to create another lane. Are your officials or the road traffic managers there ready to immediately take on that?
Let me just add that in the case of the Okadas, we were discussing this because many of them do not have addresses where you can go and give them notice of whatever it is that you give them.
Yeah. Let me tell you the grand strategy of the FRSC, which is something that's going to happen very soon.
No, we're talking about this diversion.
You need to get it. If you don't understand the whole perspective, you will not know where we're going to. The grand strategy is that when you're apprehended on the road, we don't need to follow you. We don't need to. You get your citation. If you even, when we give you a citation, we'll tell you to report at a particular magistrate court.
That's assuming that I have an address.
Wait, well, I'm telling you what is in the works, which is going to, you'll see it very soon. Then, if you refuse to go to the magistrate court will not bother you. They will reissue you another notice. If you refuse to go, they will approach your bankers, and they will take the money from your banks, and they will pay the federal government. And you know what it is to owe a bank.
Does any part of the world have a bank account?
It's work in progress. I'm trying to let you know that is the picture we have. That is the goal. That's the goal we have, and that is where we are going to. And we are tenacious to make sure that we arrive there. But you have to do lots of things. So you have to do first background checks. You have to get data. You have to build the system. You have to build the database, and you have to keep on tweaking it to make sure it works. Because if you don't do all these background works, at the back end, it's going to be difficult for you to.
So in this case, now we have this diversion. This plan is not going to help because you're still doing background checks. So how are we going to resolve the issue?
No, for this particular one, even the diversion work we know that by 2021, 2022, that all things being equal, they will complete the construction of the road. And when the road is done, we won't have this problem again of having diversion. Even if there are crashes on the road, we can easily, because the road is wide enough, we can easily remove it, isolate those people that the crash scene, and allow vehicles to keep on moving. So what we do more now is to do more of physical human presence on the highway, to just have visibility, to ensure that our presence alone will deter people. But where you refuse, we arrest you and we give you punishment by taking you to the magistrate court. Or if you don't want to go to the court, then you can make payments in the banks.
Okay. Again, I asked this because the other side, maybe it's not you that should be talking about, it's the Ministry of Work that should be talking about why this construction is not happening at night, because you know that there's more traffic in the daytime. But even at night, there's a traffic congestion because some people are on the road collecting some kind of toll which nobody understands where it goes to, and they don't have any form of identification. And some of them are standing with security men on the road at night collecting tolls from those big trucks. You know about that?
On that, there are two issues you asked. Even saying that they don't work at night is not totally correct, because we know we work with them. And we know that they do. The only thing is that maybe the scale of work they do at night might not be
The construction guys?
Yes, the construction workers. They work there, they work 24 hours. But usually late in the night, maybe they scale down the level of works that they do. And then even in the night, you are busy sleeping. You might not see.
Really?
When they,
We work 24 hours.
I know,
Okay.
but in the studio.
No, well, sometimes we're on the road. So I'm telling you what these are things you've observed. That's what I'm saying. What's the plan to ensure that, okay, the construction workers have scaled down their work at night, but there is a buildup of traffic there at night because some people are on that axis collecting some kind of toll from the trucks.
That is the second there. Because
and sometimes you have security operatives and traffic managers with them.
That's the feedback we normally get. Like one of the issues we got also was about some officials of the Ministry of Agric in Ogun State collecting taxes beside the road. We met with the permanent secretary yesterday, and she denied them. She said that no, that their staffers, they go inside the parks where they are offloading those goods. That's when they make them to pay that. They don't have rights to go to the roads. And we are working with, you can't reveal all your strategies, but you'll see some actions very soon. Okay. So I'm using this opportunity to tell those people to, to move away.
One particular weekend every month, there is extraordinarily heavy traffic on this corridor because there are church activities further down the road. Is there any special plan to take care of that? Because even with the road normal, people still go through trauma trying to get to where they're going on those particular weekends.
Yes, I was telling you that part of our reviews, part of the feedbacks we get to make sure that we tweak our operations and make it according to plans, is that we know that weekends is also an issue because so many people from Fridays, they want to leave to go and meet with their family members out of Lagos or out of Ogun State. And also some of these religious organizations, because of the concentration of religious houses within this axis way buffer. Like MFM, I think part of the feedback also decided to move their program into Lagos. So they didn't really do it. The other aspect is that we know when weekends are coming in, we beef up our personnel deployment, even the vehicles. We take people, materials from other commands just to make sure that we are prepared. And though the only thing that will happen is that there will be more traffic, but we will ensure that people don't, the traffic don't get challenged or stilled.
Okay. Anyway, so I don't know how to put this because why are you laughing now? I don't know how to put because I do know that you guys are really like stretched. You're stretched, and sometimes it's difficult managing these people. But when it comes to working with the other traffic managers and security operatives, how's that working out for you? No, especially with this diversion?
No, we don't have issues. They complement our efforts just to make sure that because the goal is that people should not be stranded on the highway. Your target is not to come to the road and get stuck or get, maybe you have even when you even suffer breakdowns, we still come to give you assistance, remove the obstruction promptly, and even sometimes, if your vehicle is damaged beyond repairs, then we assist you to get another.
What do we need to tell? What do we need to tell the road users now, seeing that they've experienced this staccato movement for 5 days? This is the 6th day. What would you have to tell them?
It's simple, and from the experience we've gathered over time, we know that the more the diversion, the period continues, the more people seem to get weary. So, and what we need to tell people, and we've been telling most of them, is that just remain focused. Just know that it's supposed to be 120 days. We've done 6 days now. So every other day you wake up is 1 day removed from it. And that very soon it will be over, and that you don't need to lose your cool. And the easiest way for you to do it is just cooperate with us. We're there to ensure that you get home safely or you get to your workplace safely. And obey the traffic signs, obey the traffic officials that are there to assist you to get home. And the moment you do that, and then put your vehicles in good conditions, and as long as you do this, there won't be issues.
Did you say 120 days? Not 60 days?
No, it's supposed to be for 4 months. So
No,
we're
part
looking at
one,
15th,
the
15th
first
of
part
Feb.
is
It's
two.
in phases. It's actually in phases. It's from this is supposed to be 1.4 kilometer stretch of road from Kara, the Ogun River Bridge, up to Bega. But you see where diversion has been done now is just around that Kara. So as soon as they complete that phase, they'll move inward Lagos to other parts of the corridor until it is completed on or
Okay.
before 15th of December this year.
Thank you very much. The Federal Road Safety Sector Commander of Ogun State, Mr. Clement Oladile. Thank you very much for coming to bring us up to scratch regarding the road diversion and partial closure of the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway.
Thank you very much.
Sunrise will return in just a moment with another interesting conversation. Do stay with us.